just been looking at as we were flying east-west. Now we're flying northwest and now, sorry, northeast and now east, coming over some of the tundra areas, looking up the main, one of the channels without the zoom, better, there we go. And coming back to tundra, inundated lowland tundra, which forms the vast part of this, now the eastern side of this. And that backlight's on, Dougie, I've got to turn that off.
Yeah, we're coming back to look at you.
It's off. Inundated lowland tundra. Not much else you can say. It's just a lot of inundated lowland tundra with some channels that have cut through it. It's like another big channel coming up. And so either stripped of the peat or got a thin veneer of plastic, fine-grained sands and or muds on top of it. Another major channel for the river. And then this bank is going to be inundated lowland tundra. Tundra again.
Can you try climbing just a little bit so we don't get up into the clouds?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And another channel system.
That's good.
Tundra, there we go, yeah.
It's a little foggy, but
yeah, well, I think we know what's here, don't we?
Sand, mud, tundra.
Sand mud, upper right, and now back to inundated lowland tundra.
Same off to the left.
I think that's the left. That's the end of the. Yeah, turn left here if you would, Bob, and then we'll go back to the inundated lowland tundra through all of this area. Yeah.
How far left? No,
that's okay now.
That's good there.
Oh, yeah, there was some to the left of us, but it's still the same inundated lowland tundra.
There's high water right now, and some of the tracks.
So inundated lowland tundra.
So it's just because the tide's high.
And there's a continuous beach now, sand granule material, thin and low in front, pretty straight. And now there's peat in front of it, on top of it. And then inundated lowland tundra.
You're pretty well out of the delta now. You're just into regular tundra.
Okay, inundated lowland tundra. Out of the delta. Inundated lowland tundra. Inundated lowland tundra. No beach, no plastics, no coastal processes really to speak of. Just an interface between water and the tundra. Hence the name tundra, interface of inundated lowland tundra. Barrier island onto the left, which is the main shoreline, and inundated lowland tundra, and we can go straight across here. It's the same, looking interior, this embayment, and not quite such low elevation on this eastern left shore, but no difference. There's no sediments, no plastics. Tundra platform. So there's just a tundra shoreline, much like the one in frame at the present time, which has no cliff, no sediments. Just a tundra water-land interface. A little beach there going up a right of fine-grained sands and unconsolidated peat. Then inundated lowland tundra. Cut across left again. This bay is the same, with the exception of top right frame. Well, no, it is. There's no plastics here. It's all inundated lowland tundra. Tundra shoreline, inundated lowland tundra shoreline. Yeah, little cliff here, about 1 meter high. That's the only difference we've got now, with a platform, peat platform, a little bit eroded. But that's the only difference. Now the debris line is top right frame, or upper right frame. Shows the area of inundation. Now, fine-grained sands just started up. Fine-grained sands forming a continuous, they stop there, right there, onto inundated lowland tundra.
I'm assuming he's in Fairbanks, but we were the guys in 2 kayaks that passed through.
Inundated lowland tundra, there's a shoals, upper right and upper left. You can turn right now, Bob, And those are just tundra remnant shoals that have been stripped of a lot of the vegetation.
Yeah, how was your trip?
So they're consolidated, they're not accumulated, they're not depositionary beaches. Tundra platform, tundra shoreline, and don't need to go in this one. It is a river channel, and there's some sand wave type bars in the sand material, and a channel in the distance with tundra on both sides. Going to the left, and we've got one large sandbar. Yeah, it's also a tundra remnant now. This is consolidated, not depositional. So there's a veneer of fine-grained sands and or muds sitting on top of this tundra platform, this tundra remnant platform. And now we're really into just back into tundra after passing the mouth of that small stream, river, creek, whatever, channel. Tundra, low inundated tundra. Low inundated tundra. Tundra right at the shoreline, tundra platform. Some of the tundra vegetation has been stripped off or killed. It's one of the brown color. And channel up in here of inundated tundra on both shorelines. Don't need to go in there, it's not a river. Just a drowned embayment of drowned tundra on both sides. Tundra shorelines just like this. Just an interface, no beach. Little cliff in a few places now, getting a bit more beach of peat. And then medium grain sands when they stop and back to just a straight tundra water interface. Tundra water interface. Just rolls off the tongue. Tundra platform.
It's all very shallow off to the left.
And a little tundra cliff about 20-30 centimeters down through this one section. And some granular peat in the last embayment, and in some of these embayments got some granular peat. Basically peat shoreline though, peat at the waterline, tundra peat. Tundra shoreline, little pockets of granular peat in the some of the embayments. Some of these little channels go quite a ways inland. No change in character. Tundra peat at the shoreline. Little platforms where some of it's been stripped off. Tundra right at the shoreline. No beach, nothing else. Just interface between tundra and the water. Most of this. Again, not a large channel, or not large, wide and long going in there. Tundra at the shoreline. Now we've got a bit of ice in this bay, still hasn't gone away.
Well, it shows in the chart that it doesn't go away.
Is that right?
It says permanent ice.
Well, my word. Sand tidal flats.
Good question. How about going to the right, go inland?
Go to the right now? Yeah. I'm sure this is all inundated lowland tundra at an educated guess.
And what, just follow the edge of the ice?
Yep.
Alright. Which edge? Inside, outside?
Well, you go up to the mainland, above the land back up there. It's kind of like it's ice.
Wow. Isn't it? Yeah. It's ice. You know, that's quite interesting. According to the chart, this ice actually doesn't melt. For whatever reason. And as looking back at the channels to the area from which we just came. Oh, it's blue ice. It's blue ice.
It's ice pack, yeah.
Oh,
it's all, mud, guck, and
yeah, it's mud flats
underneath all of this.
Sand, mud flats, and tundra underneath all of this. Well, this is a surprise.
You can head off to the left there a little bit. Yeah, just kind of truck along this, through.
So tell me how you decide how to map this, Dougie, and
I'll have to think about it.
Yeah, well, we got about 3 seconds. Mud intertidal with ice on top.
Oh, yeah.
Need a vertical category here, and there's actually some gravel bars in here. This is a stream coming through, I would guess that now. Yeah, we're following a small stream.
You can climb a little bit too if you can.
Yeah, looks like a stream coming out here, Dougie, with some gravel bars.
This is a huge river coming out through the middle of this. It's
Yeah. You know, there's quite a bit of flow through some of these channels. Well, you know, it's all stuff, basically, of
Sand, gravels.
sand gravel bars, sand bars and sand gravel bars. And, you know, it's grounded. It's the edge of it right here, actually.
Yeah, well, it's just solid ice off to the left as well,
Yeah.
all the way out to the bars.
And it's 2-3 meters thick right now. At least 2.
It's definitely not going to melt and go away. Not
by now. No. And then a lot of gravel bars through this entire area. Gravel bars. Where one can see anything, one can see gravel bars. So what sort of heading should we be on, Doug?
Actually, Bob's doing just fine.
Well done, Bob. We're on to Tundra in the back shot now. Sand gravel bars is obviously a major stream coming out through here. We can quite strong flow in the channels. And Tundra is over in the mist in the distance in top frame.
All sand and gravel bars with ice off to the left.
Huh. Well, how about that? You know, I don't remember when we flew this last time, I don't remember seeing this. But then maybe we didn't come in here, did we?
I think it was all fogged in as it is.
No, I mean, you know, in 1982.
Oh, 82? No.
Sand gravel bars through here, Tundra on the far shore, on the upper frame over there. Sand, there's actually Tundra remnants now below with a veneer of sand and granules. Actually not a veneer, I mean there's a lot of sand, pebbles and cobble sitting on top with a finer fraction below.
This is a Kongakut River.
Yeah.
It's actually just a bunch of drowned tundra with sand and gravel channel bars.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's an apt description.
There you go. That's what it says on the chart.
Oh, is it? Must have been written by a coastal geomorphologist. Sand gravel bars resting on tundra with channels and stuff, and ice and stuff. And there's a tundra remnant right there, about a meter or two above the general level. Actually, we're going over tundra. Now this is, we're going in the right direction, aren't we?
Yep.
Turn right, Clyde.
Yeah, just a little bit up to the right. Follow the shore around, you should pick up.
Follow the shore around.
Well, you know what I mean.
Sands with granules and pebbles and cobbles.
You're just about back out to the outer barrier.
Yeah, we're just out there a mile or so. Predominantly sands now. So flats. Actually, these are consolidated flats now. They're quite not depositional when you see the tundra remnant sitting in there. Large bar channel with tundra on the far shore. Okay, that was quite a big channel. It looks like we're on to now a continuous tundra shoreline, back to the reality. Tundra shoreline, there's bars and shoals on the left, and about half a mile is the barrier island that forms the ocean shoreline just to our left. And this is a continuous tundra water interface, very shallow below, shoals and bars with tundra on them, drowned tundra to our left, and just a tundra interface, a little beach of granular peat on the right, and a peat platform stripped pretty through center frame. Tundra cliff 2 meters high, fronted by tundra platform, and the tundra platform has the sand granule veneer, many sands, now mainly granular peat sitting on top of the platform. Well, that was very strange, unusual, different. And peat in front of the actively eroding, thermally eroding tundra cliff. Peat sitting on a peat platform, basically, a peat beach now there through center frame. Not seeing any clastics. Low peat. And cliff now about 4 or 5 meters high. Actively thermally eroding. And lower relief, a peat platform and a peat beach in front of the tundra cliff. Some sands, some fine-grained sand sitting on top of the platform also. Wide peat platform in front of the actively eroding, thermally eroding tundra cliff. Narrow beach now, a lot of peat blocks and mud sand material at the base of the cliff, which is about 10 meters high, 10, 12, maybe 15 meters high. So a continuous beach at the base of this actively eroding, thermally eroding tundra cliff. And there's the main barrier island off the top left, and there's a peat platform, a hut that's actually been undercut now, fallen down, and a pingo in the background. Pebble cobble beach, pebble cobble, good grief. Peat beach sitting on a peat platform backed by peat cliffs. Granular peat on a peat platform.
Yeah, there's a nice pingo there.
Yeah, that's a nice pingo. A nice ice pingo. Peat platform below.
We're almost done.
Yeah. And peat resting on a granular peat sitting on a peat platform backed by low 2 or 3 meter high cliff, draped by tundra mat that's been undercut. Peat beach. And actually there's quite a bit of now fine-grained sand through here at the base of the cliff. Now it's peat beach through here. Low peat shoreline, peat beach in front of the tundra cliff. Up to 3 meters high, increasing now 4 or 5 meters. See the ice in front of the, underneath there, and actually eroding. Peat-rich, ice-rich now, low tundra platform. Low tundra platform with a flying spit of granular peat and peat material through here, drowned tundra, drowned tundra, and some granular peat in the low embayments, low 2 or 3 meter high tundra cliff, not very actively eroding by the looks of it, tundra platform inundated low tundra. Low tundra shoreline, low tundra shoreline, not much of anything here really, just peat at the waterline, and low tundra. Peat beach at the base of the cliff, about an 8 meter high tundra cliff, peat at the base with occasional patches of plastic material, and fine-grained sands, fine-grained sand, not continuous fine-grained sand through here, peat blocks falling down from the eroding tundra cliff, some plastic going through frame sands.
There's some little sand pebble bars and barriers off to our left here.
Low tundra cliff, about 2 or 3 meters high, with peat blocks at the base, and patches, some consolidated, well, some plastic sands there. But there's patches of sediment that have accumulated in the nooks and the crannies and on the platforms in some places. Just a mixture of fine-grained sand, see some pebbles and cobbles in some areas as well. There's a granular peat beach now for a couple 100 meters, widening out, actually more than a couple 100, widening out quite a bit now. It's a granular peat beach, continuous peat beach through this area. Peat spits in front of that small embayment, peat beach continuing through here, and then petering out there to drowned lowland tundra, and in the low-lying area, and drowned lowland to give away to about a 4 or 5 meter high tundra cliff peat. And there's a sand granule pebble beach. There's a surface veneer of pebbles and cobbles on this one. And just a flying spit over onto the left. There you go, look at it and then turn right. And there you go, that's the end of it. And there's another part of it going off left.
Yeah, it goes all the way up to join in with the one.
Okay. Oh, just lonely little spit out there of sand granules, pebbles and cobbles, some cobbles. There's permafrost with mud coming down. And the beach is basically fine sands mixed with muds. Oh, that's lovely stuff, isn't it? If you like this, it's really nice. Otherwise, well, just enjoy it. It's about 15 meters high. Just enjoy it, isn't it? It's beautiful. There's a beach of fine sands and muds at the base. Large slumped blocks. And slightly lower now sands and slump blocks, peat blocks, less sediment right now. Well, banked a bit more, but not quite so much sediment through here. And now pick it up in this area of low relief, continuous beach of sands and granules. A debris line inland a couple of 100 meters. Wide, low sand, granule pebble beach. With a backshore of drowned tundra and a line of debris, log
Climb
debris.
up just a little bit.
What's that?
You climb up just a bit.
And an old Liberty ship on the left. A lot of debris. My word, quite a lot of debris. And a peat shoreline now, a little peat scarp and the granular peat of about 20-30 centimeters. Tons of debris, tons of granular peat through here. And a little bar of sand granule pebbles, a tundra cliff in the back shore over the
Can you go out around the ship?
And flying spit of sand granule pebble beach and the tundra cliff fronted by sand granule pebble beach. And
The tourist picture.
yeah, it's number 642 is painted on the side of the vessel. Well, it looks like something. What was the name of that Kevin Costner movie? That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the set for a Kevin Costner movie.
If it might have been.
Okay, very good.
That's great, Bob. Thanks.
Thanks. There's actually a tombolo forming behind it. It's a landing craft. You can see the front bows, a drop bow feature. Obviously something that the government left behind one day.
Probably a secret spy place.
Yeah,
That's right.
spied on the Canadians, eh? Okay, coming back on the bars, the flying spit, sand granule with the surface veneer, and looking back at the beach, with the tundra cliffs, a lot of debris about the high water mark, thermally eroding tundra cliffs, ice visible, and sand, predominantly sand beach with some mud overwash from the backshore thermal erosion, and some unmelted snow, fast ice foot there. And sand granule beaches, and some of the mud gone right over the snow as it's melted, actively eroding, slumping peat, thermal erosion effects. And one can only assume that there's a sort of narrow beach at the base of this, if and when it ever does thaw out. I mean, it's been warm enough for a while, 80 degrees the other day. If it hasn't melted soon, it's not going to melt this summer. And ice-rich, peat-rich tundra cliffs. About 12 to 15 meter high, varying, a little chisel shape to some of these, notched, 2 levels of erosion. So the snow bank, ice foot, fast ice, whatever it is now petered out. And actually a couple of boulders through here and oil drums, but lower relief now, 5 meters, 6 meters of firmly eroding tundra cliff with a beach in front of it of medium grain sands with tundra blocks resting on it. A lot of tundra, quite a lot of debris on top of the tundra through here as well. Tundra beach, granulated beach now, granular tundra, granular peat beach, oh crikey. And again, a lot of log debris on this east side of demarcation, but granulated peat beach with little scarpy features on it. Still being eroded now by this wave action, but quite thick, probably about 1 meter thick by the looks of it, through some of these sections. Judging by the fact that there's 3 scarps that have been cut into the peat. So we're back on the outer shore ahead, and we can pick this up on the way back, so just turn right there, Bob, and then the peat, which is the dark, is grading into it. Now, just picking up the barrier island in front of Demarcation Bay, and it has a lovely sand beach, medium fine grained sands, with a surface veneer of pebbles and cobbles, delicately touched with debris lines of logs, set off by white ice on the ocean side, and multiple ducks.
Does this,
Yeah, it connects in with the next one. And goes along quite a ways.
does it get in close to shore up there?
Yeah, it's attached to the shore.
Attached to the shore at the other end, yeah, pretty well.
Okay. What do you mean pretty well?
Well, it may not be exactly attached.
Anyway, sands with surface lag of pebble cobble material, quite a bit of debris on top of it. Pretty low, meter or so high, and quite a bit of ice melt features on the far beach, which is the oceanside beach, as a result of melting of ice associated with the ice foot or land fast ice. Hasn't been reworked yet by summer wave action. And some years it never is. And quite a large series of cuspate recurves, ridges. Better seen from vertical air photographs than from low altitude videotapes, but get the photos easy, get the tapes the hard way. Uniform sediment, still sands, granules, pebbles, and cobbles, with the coarse fraction being a lag. Rather large opening here between the two sections of the barrier. Yeah, the ones starts off just out of frame left. Okay, good. A nice set of recurves at the end. Oh, 99% sand with a secondary pebble cobble lag. There's actually a pebble cobble ridge on the far side there. About 1/2 meter high at this location, about 25 meters wide. Quite a bit of ice offshore still, but then that's typical. Uniform beach, really, sands dominant. small amount of lag, pebbles and cobbles. Higher ridge on the far side, slightly higher due to wave action. Probably last summer rather than this summer. They've still got ice pitted features that have been reworked by wave action this summer. Again, some large recurves. Wow, good stuff, Bob. Bob, I think you're going to be an honorary coastal geomorphologist.
There's 3 crosses out here on the spit too.
Oh, maybe those are the ones from where the Inuvik people lost their lives last year.
Can you climb up just a little bit, Bob? That's good.
What are we flying at, Doug?
You're at about 185 feet.
Okay, there's a line of peat on the, just at the water line below, granular peat. Oh, a lot of tents, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 tents out there with 3 Zodiacs, my word.
Adventure holidays.
Is that what it is? Not what I'd call it.
A bunch of lost Canadians.
Yeah, looking for that lost bottle of Labatt's beer. Sand dominant component of this barrier with secondary lag of pebbles and cobbles and debris line of logs, twigs, branches. Not much of a commentary here, and not much to commentary on.
Not much to say.
So ice-pitted features on the far beach from the melting of land ice foot features haven't been reworked by wave action this year. Clearly some overwash features as well from prior storms. A little bit of remnant tundra there actually, but yeah. Yeah, remnant tundra. As many of the barrier islands offshore are in fact tundra remnants anyway. You haven't got salt marsh growth, that's for sure. Some plant growth, but peaty stuff is obviously long-term tundra, not short-term vegetation.
You drop down a little bit along this narrow boring section.
Tundra remnants there, out of frame and going through bottom, lower right. Yeah, a few more tundra remnants, but the tundra is off our port side about a mile or so.
Hey, you're getting rain on my lens.
Where? Oh, seagull.
And it's going to get cold now because we're going to come up to that pack ice.
Yeah, it was cold going over before, wasn't it? Very calm out there, isn't it? No wave action at all filtered out. But I say the pack ice is about 2.5 kilometers offshore. It would be top frame if one could see it. Yeah, probably see it top right now. So close pack ice offshore to the right. Big ice melt features just above the line of debris. That's the light brown color. Haven't been reworked by wave action for at least a year, probably 2. So higher elevation here, a couple of meters. These ice features a couple of meters high. Some of them probably ice cored as well. Now pack ice quite close in. It's quite visible top frame now, less than a mile offshore, less kilometre or so. Sure is a long spit, Dougie. Long barrier.
Keeps going and going.
All the way to the end, probably.
Yep.
Sand, probably dominant sand anyway, with a secondary pebble cobble granule fraction. What you call documentation, isn't it?
It is. It's very nice though.
Oh, yes. Wonderful. Truly is. Overwash through there. A little bit misty, but still I can see quite well. Nothing worth commentating on really, just dominant sand with a secondary granule pebble cobble fraction and relief about a metre or so, and debris on lines of debris. Ice melt features that haven't been reworked by wave action since they were formed. Tundra remnants again, showing that this was once, the mainland tundra was once out of this distance from the present shoreline. Again, some tundra remnants going out below frame just a second or two ago. And again, these are not depositional or cumulative things, they are definitely residual. Like there, parts of the old mainland that's left. As the mainland has retreated, the barriers have also moved over them. Again, tundra, inundated lowland tundra. Inundated lowland tundra. Inundated lowland tundra coming through below. relief here, a couple of meters actually in some middle parts of the island. Still in sand, dominant with a secondary pebble cobble lag. It's not coarse, all the it's gravel. I mean, all the interstitial spaces are filled with sand. Cold hands, as the word comes to mind. Nice little recurves here, former inlet, part of an inlet. Well, not only just former, but also an inlet. Dominantly sands here, we lost the other fraction, lost the coarse fraction just in the back bay there. Recurve part of the distal split. And the next one coming into frame. Line of peat in the back beach. Dominant sand with a secondary pebble and scattered cobbles. Pit features over top frame there, result of melting of the fast ice and ice foot features.
You know, just a little bit further offshore.
To the left, yeah.
To the left, yeah.
There you go.
It's getting tired of holding the camera at that angle.
Yeah, I gotta go back and move it. Black lines below actually peat. They're gone now. Little recurve on the right. We have some black lines through there. Small inlet. A little bit misty. More sand and less pebbles and cobbles on this section. I see a little tundra. No, it's not. It's just ice melt features on the far side. There's some vegetation grown in this one section here, green patches of new vegetation.
Can you climb up just a little bit, Bob? As long as you can still see. Kind of a trade-off of mist and fog and framing and everything else.
Yeah, but you got a little red line on the map, and that's what's really, really important, Dougie.
You like that?
Yeah.
They got 5 minutes.
Then the little red line stops. Low portion of the barrier here is probably only about 1 meter high. Another small inlet coming through, recurve there, quite a narrow one in this case. A couple of 100 meters across. No commentary because the commentary is just sand now. Should have made that point, just changed a little bit, just sand, not seeing any coarse fraction, just a few granules and scattered pebbles on the surface now. See what happens when you do that, Doug?
Yeah.
Get sand, you know, wipe it with it. Thank you, sir. That's what happens when you do stuff like that. Stick it out the window. Just sand really now. No other secondary, not really any granules or pebbles. There's some granular peat though. Which is the dark line in lower frame. Another small inlet. Sands, no coarse fraction here, no granules, pebbles or cobbles. Medium fine grain sand beach.
Move a little bit more off to your left, please.
Doug's trying to get double pay by doing both shorelines at the same time here.
Exactly.
Pretty low elevations here, probably less than a meter right away across the barrier.
Charge extra for that.
Very low through here. Probably easily overwashed. See the ice edge, top frame. A little bit of wave action now, not much. Often you get as much wave action on the sheltered bay side as you do on the open ocean side on these coasts. Little welded bar through here. Boom, boom. Back by a shallow lagoon, pond. It's all sand, there's hardly any secondary granules or pebbles through this area. Low overwash section. I'm almost on my end of my tape here, Doug.
Yeah, that's fun too.
Sand, no secondary granules, pebbles or cobbles. No hold much debris either, as this is completely washed over during any wave event. I'm now getting some granules all of a sudden. A slightly higher elevation. 20, 30 centimeters higher elevation.
Oh, if you can look up ahead, the end of the spit's just up there.
Turn, if you just turn to the left. There we go.